Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to the Robbo the Second. I think we did one last year. Anyway, yes, the second award show of the Robbo's Gobcast podcast, Reading FC podcast. Fucking hell, that's a lot of words to say in a fucking sentence. Welcome. We have a lot of categories. Today, we're going to introduce the people. If you are listening at home, the reason why I am overhyped is because I feel like absolute dog shit. I mean, when I say like that, I have man food beyond belief. And the only way for me not to crash is to go a little bit over the top. So that's basically what you're getting today. And then you've got Matthew, who's absolutely dead because he did a really long shift of work this morning. You've got David, that just looks like he's ready to make a porno. And you've got Adam, who looks like he's sort of one of those like FIFA managers that you get on YouTube that gets like a cup final and can't be asked to suit up. He's one of those. So yes. So today, as you know, Ryan is unfortunately not here with us today. But I've spoken to him today, and he's given me some tips and ideas about what we should do and what we're doing. So today, this is what we're doing. The categories are for the award show 2020-2021 season. Fucking hell, there's a lot of twos in there. Best goal of the season, worst goal of the season, best individual performance, the worst individual performance, best team performance of the season, worst team performance, hottest prospect that Reading of a player that hasn't played in the first team, young player of the season, player of the season, and predictions overall winner. So, what we've done to get to the categories of what we've done is we have made a Google Doc. And on that Google Doc, I have given each one of these and Ryan at home a category or one of the awards that we're doing on this show. With the awards on the show, I have sent them all a category. They either text message me or they have written on their answers to each one. What we're going to be doing on this podcast is basically we're going to have an overall discussion, a quick discussion, why they think their category should win. And then we're going to do a vote at the end between all of us. And then we're going to pick the winner from that. This is not like the Brits or the Oscars where there's some independent. We're doing this with us people in here. If you don't agree with it, then please put down in the comments down below or DM us and tell us what you think should have been the winner if we've missed anything out. I've got four other than myself, four other very, very intelligent people that are on the podcast, apart from David, that are on here today, that know everything. And we're all wearing a suit or tie or a shirt today. Matthew's wearing a hoodie with a tie over the top. Adam is wearing a FIFA Ultimate Team 21 t-shirt with a tie. David is wearing a shirt. I am wearing a suit jacket and a money heist top underneath. Bella Ciao. Fucking great program, by the way. Anyway, so are we all ready to get into category 1?
Yes.
Yep.
Let's fucking do this. Right, best goal of the season. The nominees are... This is when we need like a cut to like then show it, but that's just a lot of fucking editing, and no, I'm not doing that.
Right.
That's just a way of a lot of time that I just don't want to do. Adam has nominee is Yaku Meite's bicycle kick against Rotherham. I have put John Swift versus Bournemouth or Tom McIntyre versus Luton. We've got David and Matthew who both went for the same thing, that went for John Swift against Coventry. So I'm gonna go around each person and ask them which one of those should win, and I want you to give me a reason why. And then at the end, we will then vote for who we think's the best. So, Adam, as you're the glorious, most beautiful bastard here, you get to go first.
Not sure about that one.
Look at him. Oh, look at him. Not sure about that one.
I'm not sure. I mean, now you say it. I mean, John Swift versus Coventry, I think takes it. But I'll give a justification for Yaku Meite. just the technique that he used and the composure that he had in the box. I mean, he could have easily lost his cool, and we're already leading at the time as well. So I think it's probably I put him forward, but yeah, I made the most convincing case in the world.
you
But
haven't. That was quite
that's
shocking.
because I think I actually agree with the Swift versus Coventry.
All right, then next up is who should we go first? Matthew, go to you. Why do you think John Swift versus Coventry should win goal of the season?
Well, apart from it being the best free kick I've seen Reading score probably ever in my lifetime, not all that I've seen, it was the fact that he had just at that point, that was his first game back from an injury. Obviously, I know he's had many injuries over the season, but it was his first sort of start back from an injury, and he comes out and does that. And I know it was against Coventry, but I just think that the way he did it and the technique he used and how far out it was, I just think that there's no words. It was quality.
David, I'm going to go to you.
I quite agree with Matthew, to be honest. The technique of the kick itself, the way he just hit it and it just bang in the top corner. Matthew said, he just come back off injury and sort of straight in and just to do that straight away.
I might have just Googled the goal. I might have forgotten. But yeah, okay then. So I think it's Yaku Mate's versus Rotherham. The only reason I think Swift is a good goal, but I would count that down to very shoddy goalkeeping. But Yaku Mate's goal is the superb technique to not only get a big man that big, that high in the air, but not only that
big.
Exactly, he's a big man and he's big. He's
Yeah.
like Akin Fenwa, who wants to go in WWE. I found that out this week. That has not left my mind. So for me, I think that, look, Swift's goal is ridiculous. But for a man like Yaks to get a goal like that, and let's be honest, I never expected that to be in his locker. I thought, I knew that he's got a thunder bastard of a left foot, but I didn't expect that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go around to each person now, and we're going to ask them to vote for what they think should be the winner. Adam, go to you. Who do you think should be the winner?
Can I add two more suggestions, but just quickly, we won't discuss them.
Yeah, go for it.
Lucas Zhao home to Bournemouth. I thought that was a very good team goal, probably one of the best team goals of the season.
Yeah.
The third one. And Michael Elise versus Derby. That was a good strike.
Yeah, that was right. Ryan said about that one as well. And another one I want to discuss as well is Michael Morrison against Bristol.
Yes, yeah.
Another one. So now we've added those new ones in.
Yeah.
Let's vote.
I think
I don't know who to go for now.
John Swift versus Coventry for me.
Okay, so we got one vote for John Swift versus Coventry. Matthew.
Can I vote for me? I'm obviously going to vote for the other John Swift versus Coventry because that's the goal that I thought was the best.
David.
Yeah, totally agree with John Swift. Coventry.
I'm going to go for Tom McIntyre against Luton, only because it's sentimental. And he scored his very first goal for the Royal. And to be fair, fucking great goal. But the winner of the goal of the season category for the 2020-2021 season is John Swift against Coventry. Everyone give him a round of applause.
Yay! Sorry.
Anyway, next one. We're going to go from the sublime to the ridiculous. Worst goal of the season.
I didn't pay anything for this.
No, I struggled with this.
I didn't know what to put, so I just sat this one.
I put Yaku Mate versus Blackburn Rovers away. It scored within 10 seconds. And although the layoff was very good,
the open goal.
It was shocking. It was just
where
shocking.
The fuck was the keeper?
Yeah,
that was the question I got. Was where the fuck was that keeper?
It was 9 seconds into his debut as well.
I don't think he played again after that. I don't think.
No.
I don't think anyway. David, what do you think?
Yeah, I kind of struggled with it, to be fair. Like I
think we all
couldn't.
did.
But now you've mentioned about the Mate and obviously the open goal and all that. It's hard not to disagree, really.
Right, so
yeah.
with that, the winner of worst goal of the season,
Yeah, it has to.
voted by us. There's no fucking point of voting for it because it's the only one on it. Is Yaku Mate versus Blackburn.
Should we do
And the
worst
award,
goal
actually,
conceded?
the award doesn't go to Mate. The award goes to the Blackburn keeper because we're still trying to fucking find him. Everyone, give him a round of applause.
Should we do worst goal conceded? Because that was quite quick.
Go on then.
I'd put forward either Fraser Campbell when he jumped over Tom Holmes. I'd put most of these are actually including Tom Holmes because there's Wickham away, which included Tom Holmes. Both of the Norwich goals, which included Tom Holmes.
Am I saying, okay, so please tell me if I'm wrong, we didn't concede an own goal this year?
I don't think we. No.
I think one through Tom Holmes, I think.
Oh no, yeah.
Also, have we had a red card this season?
No.
Right.
No.
For the award for best disciplined team in the country is Reading. Everyone give a round of applause.
I think we had at least yellow cards as well, don't we, or not? Not
We
sure.
must. I need to look this up because that's. Yeah, I agree. Next, should we go on the next awards?
Yes.
Best individual performance. By the way, in this category, there was only 2 nominees, and it was the same nominee twice. By the way, just saying. So the nominees for best individual performance was Raphael versus Swansea, away from home. I think another one that Ryan said was Jow against Derby, the first game of the season. The way he set up the goal, and he also could score as well. Moore's performance, the one that I just thought of against Middlesbrough away, where I think that was the start of Moore coming back. Tom McIntyre's performance, I think it was one game at centre back he played with Morrison where nothing went past him. But I can't remember it.
That was.
Which one was that?
It was Bournemouth. I'm pretty 90% sure.
Could have been. I think it was.
I thought Yeardom against Norwich away was also very good. I know that we conceded 4 that day, but Yeardom individually was fantastic.
Josh Lauren against Nottingham Forest at the home game, only because I was at that game and I saw the performance. That's the only reason why I've just thrown that in, and it was a sublime performance. We've just named a few. Are we all sticking with Raphael versus Swansea away?
He was insane.
And the winner of best individual performance, because some of our fan base thinks we should get rid of him, is Raphael against Swansea away. Everyone give a round of applause.
Hey.
Adam, I don't see any excitement there. Come on, put some fucking excitement in. Come on. Go on, Adam. Come on,
Not usually.
Adam, put some excitement in. Come on. I'm clapping. By the way, that might sound really wrong in the audio, so I'm going to stop. Here we go. This is quite a long list. Who's ready for this one? Worst individual performance. Here we go.
I know, but
Adam has put Tom Holmes versus Norwich away. I put Lewis Gibson against Norwich. Matthew put Gibson against Watford. David put Jow versus Preston. And by the way, Ryan voted. Pure genius, by the way. I never thought of this. Pure genius. He put Oliver Langford for the Sheffield Wednesday away game. He said that earlier. He goes, you've got to put that in. All right, absolutely. So Adam, no, I'm not going to go to Adam first. I'm going to go with David first. David, why did you go with Jow versus Preston?
I basically went with Jow against Preston away because nothing seemed to go for him that day, and his sort of body language just didn't seem in the right sort of frame of mind that game. So I felt that particular performance was a decent shout for worst individual performance of the season.
Perfect. Matthew, I'm going to go to you. Why did you go for Lewis Gibson versus Watford?
Don't get me wrong, Sarr is a good winger, but he made him look absolutely world class and ripped him a complete new hole. And arguably is well, in my opinion, like I understand that he struggled. He was he gave him space and time, which you don't do that to quick, agile wingers. And he put two past us very early on, and we struggled to get back in the game. And you could argue if we have a different wing back there, then we don't concede those 2 goals because realistically they were, in my opinion, very avoidable. And I feel like that was down to him. And I think that was a very key game that we needed to perform well in. So yeah, that's what I would say. Especially at the point in the season where it came where we were really trying to battle for that playoff and every game counted. And I understand we had some tough opposition, but those are the games that we need to be winning. And I feel like he did let us down that day.
Adam,
I think the one mitigating factor for Lewis Gibson is the fact that he's not a left back, and Paunovic kind of put him in that position up against a Champions League quality really winger. I thought Gibson was directly to blame for one of the goals. I think one of the other ones, there's a couple of players I think you could have done more. I think maybe Liam Moore, Josh Lawrence. So maybe, I think for me, obviously Tom Holmes, because he contributed directly to 2 goals that we conceded. And he made a mistake at such a crucial time when we were 1-0 up, and they were 2 completely avoidable errors. And that's one of the reasons why I picked him, because he directly cost us 2 goals that day and made it such an awful afternoon. I think, to be fair, other than 2 goals, he was actually okay. But you can't get past those 2 bad errors because they were shocking. And there's no one else really to blame other than him, I'm afraid, for those 2 goals.
Well, there is one of them. Reason why Ryan went for Oliver Langford against Sheffield Wednesday, and I quote his words. These are not my words. So EFL, if you're watching this, please don't sue the podcast for what I have to say. This was directly from Ryan Fox. If you need his address, then DM me and you can sue him that way. What he said was it was one of the worst individual fucking performances of a referee I've ever seen. And if you know that player that ran on the pitch and punched Jack Grealish, he'd rather see that fan run on and punch the referee instead. And I quote. But to be fair, he had an absolute fucking shocker.
It wasn't just the penalties; it was a shocking performance.
It was everything. Matthew, by the way, your screen has gone. Just saying, if you're still here.
Yes, my Wi-Fi is struggling.
We have the same fucking Wi-Fi. You are literally just like over there. It is. The Wi-Fi is terrible. And the last one that I put for was Lewis Gibson against Norwich. I put Lewis Gibson against Norwich because he could have fucking tackled Pookie, and instead he decided to walk. And that angered me. I think more than anything this season, that angered me more than any other performance I've seen, either by referee or anything. Look. The thing that, and I think I tweeted about this. I don't know whether I tweeted about this or I said something on I think I did say something about it. I said, he isn't going to be here at Reading next year because Carlo Ancelotti, we all know, is unhappy. And we all know now, but at the time when I tweeted it, Carlo Ancelotti was unhappy with the game time he's getting. So he needs to impress every time he steps on that field. He just went, all right, Pookie, mate, have a good goal. It's like, look, you need to impress a team for next year. That clip now is going to be shown for a very long time about how much of a lack of effort. And if you're a scout, that's going to be the main talking point you're going to have when you're going to go and try and get a player. And I think he's shot himself the hole there. He's not going to be an Everton team next year because we all know that they're going to try and sign big in their defence next season anyway. So I'm going with that. Right. We've all done a compelling argument. We've all done really well here, and we all have done very well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around each person, and I'm going to see if they stick with their pick or if they've changed. If everything stays the same, then I'm gonna then choose the final vote, and I won't choose my own. I will choose someone else's to make it fair. And then that's as fair as it can go. Matthew, I'm gonna go to you. Your pick are you sticking with your pick where you say Gibson against Watford?
I am, and that's solely because, and I'll say why, not just because I think my answer is the best, but I feel like that because my game was so crucial. Like the Norwich game, in my opinion, we had already, like, there was nothing sort of to play for. I feel like the boys just sort of knew that, and that is what brought them down. And I feel like with the Preston game, I feel like Giles a confidence player, and we know that, and we can't deny what he's given to us this season. But I feel like the game that I've chosen was an important point in the season, and I think it was crucial. And I feel like that those are the games that we need to perform in it, and we didn't. So that's why I'm saying that's why I'm going to stick my answer.
Yeah, that is a valid point. David, go to you. Are you sticking by your Jowl versus Preston?
I think hearing like the points about the two other games that have been mentioned, and I will not go with my own answer.
Dun, dun, dun.
Controversial. And I'll stick with, or I will go with Lewis Gibson versus Watford, because I can kind of see Matthew's point with that, and how he was, given the opportunity to play against Watford, and he didn't really show himself in any glory. So, yeah, I'll go with that one.
Perfect, David. Thank you ever so much. Adam, are you sticking with your Tom Holmes performance versus City?
Yeah, I can see the points made, and I mean, I'd say that I'd still stick with mine purely because he cost us 2 goals, Tom Holmes. But I can see why the argument's been made, and I'm more than happy to see that really as the winner.
Beautiful. So the winner of the worst individual performance by another Everton loanee, Reading. Please get it in your head that we don't want anyone from Everton that's not called Gylfi Sigurdsson, please. Did you see his free kick against West Ham the other day, by the way? Nearly went in. Fucking epic free kick, by the way. It's so close. Anyway, everyone, give a round of applause. Not that he wants this. Give a round of applause for Lewis Gibson for worst individual performance this season. Everyone's frozen on my screen.
Hey.
I don't think he'll be happy with that.
Yeah, and you're the one that's frozen, I'm afraid.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not doubting you. My screen, everyone just froze. So it's definitely me. So don't worry about that.
Yeah, our Wi-Fi is it's a very unstable
I'm gonna
connection.
fucking drop kick it in a minute. So best team performance this season. There has been 2 votes. Same vote twice. So instead of going around, we're just gonna applaud for it. So the winner of best team performance so far this season is Reading versus Bournemouth at home this season. Everyone, give Reading versus Bournemouth a massive round of applause.
Hey.
Can I tell you why I'm so impressed with it, though, is the fact that we put in a great attacking display in the first half, and then in the second half, we defended so well.
Yeah.
Bar that goal, I thought we put in a very good defensive performance against the likes of David Brooks, Jack Wilshere, Dan Juma, Solanke, those types of players, to put in a performance like that in the second half defensively, I thought that was, it was
team,
brilliant.
By the way, are going to win the playoffs.
And to be fair, you can't do anything about that free kick. That's,
Gal could have not moved his head. But...
No.
Yeah.
That pissed me off. I think that annoyed me. I just remember if you didn't say that, I think I would have forgotten about that. I forgot that Jao moved out of the way.
But also, Reading.
I thought it was Semedo, or was that Zhao?
No, it was Zhao. Because he got 2 goals, and then he let that go in, and it sort of he looked like a bit of a knob. but he made up for it for the 19 plus goals he got so far this season. So well done, Reading. Worst team performance so far of the season. Well, not so far of the season. There was 2 votes, 2 different votes.
Yeah. I know.
So we've got worst team performance from Adam was Luton Town away, and by Matthew it was Wickham away. And I'm going to put one in. I didn't put this in now. I'm going to put one in. One of the worst performances. Actually, no, I can't. Actually, no. Don't worry about that. Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry about that. So, Adam, explain why you have gone for Luton Town away.
We didn't create anything. We were just stale. It was horrible to watch, and we just, Luton weren't threatening our goal whatsoever. But that wasn't because of our defence. That was because they didn't threaten us at all. And going forward, we were just so slow. It was one of the first performances really where I got angry. I mean, at least Wickham away, we were creating chances. Yes, we conceded quite a fast score goal, but we got a penalty. We created a tiny bit, and it was almost better to watch. And plus, Raphael made a penalty save, I think it was, in the Wickham away game. Whereas Luton, it was just nothing.
Matthew, I think you were the other one that voted for Wickham away. Explain of your decision why, and tell the viewers who can't see your face because it's just a black screen. Why?
Sorry.
No, that's fine. Explain why to the viewers at home why you've gone for Wickham away.
So my reason for choosing Wickham was I remember watching this game with my mate, and these are what I took from it. Not only did we miss a penalty, they had a red card, they were bottom at the time, and we lost. And I think just putting all those things together was just why I thought it was one of, as much as I do agree with Adam, like Luton was actually dreadful. We did create some chances with Wickham, but I think it was more frustrating that we were creating chances, we weren't finishing them against bottom of the league after they'd gone down to 10 men and we had missed a penalty. Like, I don't think you can have much worse luck or performance than that. Like, we were given everything. We were given 10 men and a penalty kick, and we managed to screw both those up. So that's my reason I chose that game.
I kind of get that. I do because of the fact that it's like it seemed like the Yeovil at home game, even though you didn't have 8 men, they had 10 men. But it was pretty dreadful. But I think the reason why I kind of saw the red card and the penalty as a positive in terms of making them foul us and like having that chance. And I guess we kind of see that in kind of different ways. But I'd 100% agree with you in the fact that it was just absolutely dreadful and probably one of the most frustrating performances of the season. I think them two, without doubt, are the ones that are going to go.
Yeah, I would say, if anything, I'd probably vote for yours. I can't lie, because I remember watching that Luton game downstairs with my mum, and I wanted to punch the screens so hard. that got me angry. At least Wickham, I got a bit of excitement.
Wickham was dreadful. I mean, the goal that we conceded was awful.
So, by the sounding of you two's argument, and me and David just sat here listening, I think we can all assume that the winner of the worst team performance is probably Luton away then.
Yeah, it has to be.
David, are you in agreement with that?
Yeah, I'll go with that. I know I originally thought about Wickham and that because obviously how poor it was, and in the sense of they were bottom of the league, and I know no one has any right of just turning up and winning. You've got to earn it, but I just thought that was a performance that was didn't show any glory for the team that day. But yeah, I'll go with Luton, as like the lads have said. Didn't really feel like there was going to be any goals or scoring so I'm happy to go with the Luton one.
And it was also the fact that it was such an important game. It's like the similar argument with Matthew is that like the Gibson against Watford, it was such an important game and we needed all 3 points, and it was similar with the Luton game.
Who's that Luton player that you hate?
What?
There's a Luton player that you despise, by the way.
Oh, Danny Hilton.
There you go.
Because he belongs in the National League. He is a terrible, terrible striker.
You'll love it if he comes to Reading now, wouldn't you?
Oh,
Right,
I
so
think he played for Aldershot Town once as well. He needs to go back there. Aldershot Town, he needs to go back there. He's no good in the Championship.
by the way, this is discussion, right? When we had on the Twitter group chat we got, he went on a rant for about 5 minutes straight of how shit this player was. And I think we were on a call once as well. I can't remember. We were discussing something and he went on a rant. And every time that name is just like me with a certain player who I will not mention. So the winner was not a player that signed for Reading and was promised us to help us get promotion, but actually in his career now has got relegated twice. Was not Wickham away. It is the team that we should have won and should have gone on and beaten was Luton away. Fucking away games, apparently. So everyone give a round of applause to the Reading team that did an absolute fucking shit performance against Luton.
Hey.
Brilliant.
So we're going to go on to something a bit more happy now. So we have now the hottest prospect in our academy. And the rules or the ray around it was they haven't had a first team performance. There was a player who I was going to add to this. And I was going to put into this as well as what they put as well. But he already has a first team performance of a minute of playing in the first team, which has angered
Wait,
me.
didn't you say start?
Huh?
You said players that haven't made a start.
Yeah. There
So
was one that hasn't had who hasn't had a first team before. Oh, he hasn't had a start.
Yes, exactly. So you can put him forward.
He's not being added. He's being added. Fuck it. There's a loophole. So Adam has gone for Thierry Henry. No, sorry. Thierry Neves. Matthew has gone for Melvin Lambert. I am going for Femi Aziz. By the way, he had one performance against Sheffield Wednesday. That's why it's fucked me off, by the way. That's why I got angry. David just couldn't think of anything. So David is going to be impartial judge here, where I'm not going to pick a winner because I'm not fucking changing from my Femi Aziz. Adam's probably going to stick with...
He did think of something.
I did vote for that one. I put Neves.
Oh, you did. You went for... Oh, you can't vote then. I'm blocking your vote. I'm joking. So, Adam and David, I'm going to let you go with this. Why do you think Thierry Neves, or Henry, as I'm calling him from now on, should be the winner of the hottest prospect that hasn't made a full start for Reading? Over to you guys. You guys can choose who goes first.
David, you go first.
All right. Basically, from what I've sort of seen of Neves, like, you know, with the under-23s, I think he's got a very bright future in the team. And I think he's got sort of like the skill and prowess, I think, to go to do similar to what Elise has done in the first team in the next, well, hopefully I'd like to see him in the next sort of 12 months or at worst in the next couple of years to come in and have a real good shot in the first team like Elise has.
I think for me it's the fact that he's come back from injury and actually still made quite a good impact from quite a term injury. And you hear very good things about him, and from what I've seen, he's good. But I mean, maybe part of the reason why I put him in there is the fact that he hasn't even been on the bench, and that he's kind of that kind of hidden gem, perhaps, that we have. But yeah, that's why I went for Neves. It was quite a hard one because Tetek has made a start. So yeah.
Matthew, Melvin Lambert.
I think I've seen clips of him when he did play for us, and he looks like what we need, in my opinion. Like, he's 18 years old. He's gone on loan. I think he's getting the experience he needs playing in a different league in Ireland. And I feel like that he, in a year or two's time, could become very key, because I don't think we've had, apart from Zhao in recent years, a standout striker that can guarantee goals. And I think give him time, give him a couple starts, I think he could be promising in that aspect. And that's what I think is different. Apart from Loda, I haven't seen many good youthful strikers break through, and Loda didn't even do amazingly well, whereas I think Melvin Lambert has the potential to do that.
Yeah, I agree with all of them. But the reason why I went for Femi Aziz is I watched a clip of him the other day for the under-23s. I think it was against Wolves. And his late runs into the box. And I don't mean late runs as, oh, fuck, he's been caught out. It was purposeful late runs or skill to get into the areas where he got into. There just seems to be that hidden gem in him. And I agree with the other two, by the way. I agree with Thierry Neves, and I definitely agree with Melvin Lambert. I was calling for him to get more of a start over Bulldog at certain points throughout the season as well. And that was a massive talking point we had on the podcast as well. Through that, he went out on loan as well to go and get some more first team experience. Thierry Neves has had an injury and he's come back, and he seems to be very much that creative force that I do feel like we've missed this season, especially in certain type of games where we've needed to go out wide and have a player literally run at a defender. We have Jaria that is very, very skillful, but just doesn't have that final end to him. At least that was playing on the wing is good. He's not a winger, but he's good. He is not that player that's going to run at you. He's the one who's going to sit back, control the ball, find the pass. And it's the same with Mate as well. He's good. He's that bulldozing winger you need in the 90th minute when their players are knackered. Which next season, after we'll talk about releases and all of that next week's episode, that he hopefully will get more of a different role next year. By the way, while we're recording this podcast, I've just seen on my phone, Ronaldo has just scored his 100th goal for Juventus. He's scored 118 for Man United, 450 for Real Madrid, 100 for Juventus, 103 for Portugal. Fuck me, that man's a machine. Anyway, I'll throw my phone out of the way now. So I don't think, and I think there's one winner here because there's two people that have gone for the same player, but I think one of the things that I can take away, I don't know what you guys think, but even with the releases and with what's gone on recently, we can all agree that we have, and we've just named 3 absolute gems that we think could, even if shit happens, could come in and maybe do something. And you don't get a lot of clubs that can say that they can look at their youth to have 3 different, there's normally one, I would say, in a youth team that could really push it. But we've got 3 here. And I think that goes. And one thing I saw the other day, which I've got to give I don't know who tweeted it on it, but I think it was saying doing Eamon Dolan proud. I think, yes, doing Eamon Dolan proud for how he set up this academy. But I think this just shows as well the work that Paunovic has done behind the scenes to get 3 players that we're talking about integrated around the team, learning from the first team, and getting ready for next season. So I think that's a massive talking point as well. So I'm not going to do a vote because we're all going to say the same thing, all the ones that we pick. So the winner of the hottest prospect that hasn't made a full start for Reading and that a player that we all think will do something marvellous is Thierry Neves. So everyone give a round of applause for Thierry Henry Neves. That's fucking calling it from now on. We're also going to give shout-outs as well to Melvin Lambert and Femi Aziz as well, if that's how you say your name. For we also think that you guys are going to smash it as well. So good luck with I think all 3 of you got new contracts as well, if I'm right, or 2 of you did as well out of all that. So good luck to you. Let's hope next season does it. Now we're gonna
Arsenal beating Chelsea 1-0.
Yeah, I know. Have you seen, by the way, Jorginho apparently did a back pass and left Kepa absolutely fucking on his own.
You're not seeing wife's face here when you're saying about Arsenal beating Chelsea. She's happy bunny, I'll tell you that much.
Sorry, we've taken your husband away from you, and now we've taken the piss out of Chelsea losing. So at least you got the Champions League final.
Yeah, sorry about that. I wasn't laughing.
Just
And
thinking of-
also, by the way, it serves you right for putting Kepa in goal. So... right. Now we're going to go to the first team. We have a category now, Young Player of the Season. There was two nominees for this one. Two very rightly so nominees for this award. So the nominees for this award is Adam has voted for Tom Holmes to be one person of the awards of the Young Player of the Season. So Adam has gone for Tom Holmes, and Matthew has gone for Michael Olise. And I also thought of that as well. As I went for both of them. So I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm stuck between these two. I know what Ryan will vote for. So if it gets to the deciding vote, I know Ryan's already told me which one he thinks should win it. So I will go with his if it's a draw, but I will also put his in as well. Adam, I'm going to go to you first because you put up for a nominee for him. Tom Holmes, you slagged him off earlier, saying he made quite a few mistakes, and now you've nominated him for Young Player of the Season.
I think the reason why I nominated him is because, I mean, I guess he's 2021 at the moment. So the fact is, yeah, Michael Elise is a lot younger, and that's probably put him in made him more eligible for the category. But if you look on the other hand, this is Tom Holmes' first season in the Championship, or full season anyway, and he's just come off of a loan from a Belgium second tier side, and has come straight into the Championship, played multiple positions, and has mostly been very reliable for us. So that's my case for Tom Holmes, but Elise as well has been great in certain parts. But I mean, one of the other things that I think Tom Holmes has got going for him is the fact that he's been consistent. Whereas you see Elise, when he's on it, he's very, very good. But when he's not, he's very ineffective. So I think, I mean, on consistency, it's probably Holmes, but I mean, you know, Elise is younger and he's attracting more interest from top clubs. So it's a really difficult one.
Matthew, go to you. Why have you gone for Elise?
I think I took a different perspective than what Adam took. So I saw Holmes going on loan last season as he is a bit older. He's had first team experience in another league. And I feel like this is how I saw how Elise took it. John Swift, arguably one of our best players in the whole squad. In my opinion, he's arguably one of the best players. He's big boots to fill. And I feel like he got injured and Elise took that. And I feel like he performed, and in a lot of cases, there were a lot of games that were won down to his, like parts of him, whether that be making plays or scoring goals. And I feel like he contributed so much for a 19-year-old trying to fill the boots of John Swift with that much pressure, not playing much of first team football, and then have that put on his shoulders. I feel like that he dealt with that really well. And there's a reason why he's Young Player of the Season in the Championship and have got Premier League clubs knocking on his door, because he can perform. And I feel like with experience and time, as he gets better and learns how to deal with it, as I agree with you with the inconsistency, I feel like give him a couple more years and I feel like he'll be flying. And I do, as much as I am sad to see it, I think he will be gone in the summer due to the fact of how I think he's dealt with the whole circumstance this season.
Beautiful. David.
Yeah.
I'm going to go for you.
I thought I actually put one down.
You probably did, but I might have been a dumbass and didn't write it. Not gonna lie.
That's fine. To be fair, there's good arguments for both Holmes and Elise. You know, I've said many times how Holmes has come in at right back and been really, really reliable. He's been obviously there quite comfortably when Yeardon was injured for quite a few months. But yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. Not to worry. Also, obviously, Elise, he's got that sort of young, how can I put it? Just sort of no fear at times when he plays, and he just sort of plays that attractive ball or has some good, shots and finishes on him. But I think on a more consistent basis, I'd probably have to go for Holmes for that time, especially for the time when he was playing in right back, because I think we conceded very little goals when he was playing there, and I think we went through a spell where we were unbeaten when he was playing at right back as well. Or it was just he seemed more sort of solid when he was in, and that on a more consistent basis.
Yeah. No. So the way I look at this is I look at the negative first, so they try and look at positives. So with Elise, I look at him and I go, he hasn't got that maturity yet. He hasn't got that player that if things are not going well for you, keep going, keep trying, keep finding a way. It seems as things don't start going right for him, he sort of puts his head down and he sort of gives up in a bit. That's my main criticism of him. If I was looking at him and wanted him to sign for one of my clubs, if I was a scout, that was one of the things I would look at. Would be he's got excellent passing skills. He's in the top 6 or wherever he is creating, absolutely. But there just seems to be that little thing that's missing. That little thing that he needs to add to his game, and I think he needs to find. You look at I can't think of many players that's done it, but like Jude Bellingham, since he's left, but he was one-dimensional. Jude Bellingham when he was at Birmingham, he was very good at doing that late run, centre midfielder runs into the box and try and get it off, or very much like a Rinomota box-to-box type of player. Since he's been at Dortmund, or since he's gone there, he's found that extra gear where he can be skillful on the ball if he needs to be. He can find that killer pass if he needs to be, and he can still do what the other things that they brought him for. And that's one of the things with Elise that I feel like he's missing. Tom Holmes, very, very good player. The issue with him is when he's played in his preferred position. That I feel like when he's played in right back for so long, he learnt that role and then forgot how to be a centre back. Where I feel like that's good for him to learn how to be a right back and do that part. Then when you go back to your centre back mode, you need to get back and quickly adapt. And I think the adaptability for him was a bit slow in how he did it. And also, he needs to try and find a way of giving players, if they knows that they're quicker than him, give them 10 yards, 10 yards, so that you can try and have a go at them at a certain point. Instead of going up close and tight, they're just going to spin you. And that comes with game time. That comes with learning. And that's one of the things I think we saw throughout the season we're going. But
individual mistakes.
Exactly.
As well. Individual mistakes, he's made quite a few.
Exactly.
A lot of them haven't been costly, but in the Norwich game, they were.
And I also think that that's good for him. Not good for us, but that's good for him. Because if he's a good player and he wants to go to that next level, you're not going to do that again. You're not going to make the same mistake twice. You're going to learn from that mistake and go, right, I did that wrong before. What should I do right again? Why shouldn't I do that? And then don't do it or do something a bit different. And I think that's not good for us because it's cost us in certain situations. But at the same time, that's a great learning curve for him to have. Not at the right time of the season, let's be honest. And I feel like both of them's right. For me, I know what Ryan's going to go for. So we're going to go with the vote and see where this goes. Matthew, are you sticking with Elise?
Yeah, I'll stick with Elise.
Beautiful. David, who are you going for?
I think, going by what I was sort of saying how I felt consistency wise throughout the season, I would definitely go for Holmes.
Beautiful. Adam?
I've got a bit of a negotiation here. If we can give another award to Tom Holmes, which is surprise of the season, I'll actually give young player of the season to Elise.
All right. All right, fuck it. So the winner of the surprise of the season is Tom Holmes.
Hey.
Really?
The winner of young player of the season is Michael Elise.
Oh, okay.
Hey.
Okay. By the way, someone texted me that I've done that. Actually, I need to write. I'll write that down in a sec. That I've actually just done that because I will completely forget. So the second to last and the second most important award player of the season.
Mm.
Second most important award, because our predictions winner is the most important award. To
Mhm.
us anyway. So player of the season, there has been quite a lot of nominees for this one. Josh Laurent, Jao, Michael Elise, Mate. Jao again was another one. I'm going to add in one more player. I wouldn't class the player of the season, but player that I really liked. Anyway, I'm going to go for Omar Richards. I'm going to add him in the nominees for it. Adam, we went for Josh Laurent. You went for Josh Laurent. Do apologise. We know that he's won it in real life. We all know why he's done it, but why should he win the second most important award on this podcast?
I think it comes down to one word, and that's consistency. I mean, I'm looking at other players now who are in contention for the award. Omar Richards was actually pretty decent for the whole of the season, but he did drop off a bit after a while, just a tiny bit.
Yeah,
so that kind of puts him out of contention. Lucas Zhao, absolutely fantastic first half of the season, went off the boil a bit, so that's why I kind of ruled him out of there. Who else? Michael Morris.
Mate was one, I think, wasn't it?
Mate, good, but I think injuries may have hindered him. Michael Morrison, I mean, is in contention because of his consistency. But I think I went with him last season, and the fact that Laurent has made the step up from League One to the Championship, I think wins him this award. In my opinion, who else is in there? I can't remember who else we nominated. I mean, Rinamota's been good, but I think the fact that Laurent has taken the step up from the third tier to the second tier, I think clinches it. And just the adaptability he's shown again, alongside both Rinamota and Semedo, he's adapted very well. And there's been very, very few performances where you said, right, Laurent's having one here, he's off the boil.
Beautiful. David, who are you voting for and why? Who is your player of the season?
My player of the season basically is Josh Laurent. I've said it like with Adam on like the lives and stuff, how consistent he is. Like Adam's just said, he's been one of the main sort of defenses in that midfield, and he never seems to give up. He goes forward, he comes back, and again, like Adam said, the step up from League One, doesn't always work, but he's done an absolutely amazing job, and he's helped us ticking along with Rhino in that midfield. And I personally, all day long, would say Laurent for those reasons.
For me as well, I mean, me and David are on the lives, and we're struggling to give Laurent more than a 6 because we're expecting those performances from him now. He's still been exceptional, but we're still giving him 6s. And I think that's a real measure of how good he's been this season.
Beautiful. Matthew,
Exactly.
You went for Joe.
I did.
Do you stick with Joe?
I agree with you guys with the consistency of Laurent. I think he has definitely been up there. I think the reason when I was thinking about this, the reason why I put Zhao was because I'm just thinking, watching Reading over the years, I feel like the one position out of all that we've struggled with is striker. We've had brilliant midfielders. We've had Danny Williams. We had Bakuna who could play. We've had like what I would call Lawrence in other positions that did
Danny
what.
Guthrie.
No, we're not going to Guthrie. And I feel like we've always had those. We've always found that little quality midfielder from. And I feel, as much as I agree with what you're saying, striker since Shane Long. Even Kermigan, I don't think compares to Zhao in my opinion, but he was just the best of a bad bunch. And I just think, although he did have those games which you thought, how are you missing this? When he had that confidence, when he was doing his best, he simply won us games. Defenses couldn't handle him. He was assisting, he was scoring, and he was a key reason for us finishing 7th this year.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard, but it's a really hard one. I
think Laurent deserves it, but I think Zhao, because of our luck with strikers the past decade, I think that he was definitely a big shout for me because we have struggled in that department. We've gone through so many strikers. It's ridiculous.
Right. So I was swinging towards Josh Laurent until Matthew just made that case. and now I'm with Lucas Jow. So because it's 2-2 on here, I've got in front of me a spinning wheel. And I don't know whether you guys are going to be
I think they both deserve it. I can't lie.
So a spinning wheel. I've got
Alright.
a YouTube notification here. So I have Josh Laurent and Lucas Jow on here. We can't have both winners because that just makes no fucking sense. So I'm going to spin that wheel and I'm going to try
What
and
about
do it
Ryan?
on the camera. Ryan, I can't fucking remember what he said. And also he's not here. So and I also really want to use this wheel. So all together.
He wants to use his wheel.
Yeah, I do actually. So what we're going to do is I'm going to get it on the camera. I'm going to click it, and this is who is. Is that better?
Yeah, there you go.
Our player of the season.
Okay, well,
Lucas Jow.
Lucas Jow.
Lucas
So
Jow then.
the winner of it's gone backwards. It's quite good. The winner of our player of the season, due to a random wheel, is we want to give a massive shout out to Josh Laurent as well.
Yeah.
For the amazing season you've had, but it's 2-2 and you got down to a spinning wheel. So that's how you've lost. So
Heartbroken.
so congratulations to Lucas Jow on our player of the season. Everyone give him a round of applause.
But I think Laurent, again, I would argue that in my opinion, and this is a bit of a bold statement, I rate Laurent with the potential he has more than I rated Williams and Bakuna. I think that's quite a big thing to say.
You can see there's even more room for improvement as well.
Yeah.
Whereas you
That's
thinking,
quite scary if you think about it, how much room of improvement he's got. So yes, so that's the end of Reading FC awards. Now it becomes personal. So we have been since December. I think
I joined very late.
Yeah, it's fine. Since December, we have been doing a contest on this podcast. It was between me, Adam, and Ryan. Then it was Matthew joined. Then it was with another person that joined the podcast for a little while. And then Adam and David come in at the end. So Adam was 2-0 up. And then I won one. Then Matthew won one. And then it come down to this month. Basically, the winner of this month was a joint winner. And it was David and Matthew.
Wow.
So,
Really?
yeah, you and Matthew, because you both said that we would draw. I think you two were the final two, if I was right. I did it all earlier. I've got it in front of me. So,
Okay.
what's happened is Adam and Matthew are both in the final. The winner, and me and Ryan have discussed this, what we're going to be doing, the winner is going to have their own episode on this podcast to discuss about whatever they want. So you can bring it up as like a pub chat where you could discuss things Premier League, you could discuss things whatever, wrestling, rugby, cricket, golf, politics. You can bring politics into this, Adam, if you wanted to. That point is at you. Matthew can do it as something that he needs to do for his uni. The reason why we've done this is you both could use this or use this type of thing towards your uni work. We know that you're never going to use it, but you could use this type of thing for ideas that you could use for your uni work. We use this, as Matthew knows, can use this as an episode that he could send off to his for his uni, or you could use this that you could just fuck around with. On the other hand, the loser. Because we've lost, myself, Ryan, unfortunately, David, because you're late, you have to be a part of the losers group.
That's true.
I know. I love you, but you're still in the losers group. And the person that loses between Adam and Matthew, I'm going to do a timer. You have 1 minute, 30 seconds, each of us, to tell the winner why they are the greatest person that's ever existed. Right? That's it.
I guess that's all right.
So, in front of me, as you guys will know, I found a spinning wheel. Fucking love this thing, by the way. I have Adam's name and I have Matthew's name on it. Whoever it lands on and wins is going to be the winner. I'm not going to show you the spin. I'm going to show you the end result.
No, he'll rig it. He'll rig it. I know what he's like.
No, I won't rig it. I promise you. I swear on my children's life, I will not rig it.
All right. Yes.
All right? I will not rig this. I want to build suspense. That's the only reason why I am doing this. So, I've also got a timer set as well. In a minute, if I remember to fucking do it. In a sec. Where we will have to... So, if Adam wins, we all have to explain 1 minute, 30 seconds each why Adam is the greatest person ever. If Matthew wins, we do the same thing. Also, the winner will also have a dedicated episode of their choosing in a week or two. Also saves me from thinking something creative for the time being. For an episode of their choice on it. So, hold on. While I get a timer on here. By the way, I'm doing this quite slowly just to build suspense. This is a very important award, by the way, people. If you guys at home not wondering, this is the most important award. This is bigger than Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Well, now I've
Shut the fuck up.
arguments.
This, I have been told through the grapevine that because of how good this works, that WWE are trying to find a way of putting it in their show. I have also been told, I can't be fucking asked, Lewis Hamilton wants to be a part of it. I fucking wish. That man is a god. So, I am now pressing the wheel. Pressed. I've done this 3 times today, and I've tested it.
He's rigged it. I can tell.
Okay. That name hasn't won out of the 3 times I pressed it today. Which is fucking weird, by the way. So, the winner. Is anyone else getting really excited? Because I fucking am. I'm sorry. This is the only consistent thing I've done on this podcast that's lasted longer than a month. I'm not going to lie. So, the winner of the predictions game and the person who is going to create an episode all by themselves about whatever they want is the only one that has is Adam. So congratulations, Adam. You are the
I have
winner.
no idea already about what I'm going to do.
That's
Beautiful.
good. I have no clue.
Beautiful. So what we're going to do now, I will kick this off. All right? I will kick this off. But because I was doing this from the beginning, I have to go longer. Okay? All right? I'm going to have... That's what she said. Thank you, Adam. I'm so happy you said that, by the way. I really hope someone was going to say that. That's what she said. So, I'm going to go 3 minutes. Okay? I'm going to do 3 minutes. Right? And by the way, Ryan, you know I'm coming for you, and you know that you have to do a 3-minute one all by yourself,
no.
and then I'm then recording it. Then you've got to send it to me, and it's going on YouTube. All on its own episode, by the way. Just the Adam episode. That's it. So, 3 minutes starting now. Oh, fuck, there you go. The reason why Adam is the greatest ever is because there is no other ginger on this earth that is as good looking as it is. You look at Ed Sheeran, fucking munter, but he's got the talent. Saying that Adam hasn't got, but Adam is probably going to be the biggest journalist in Reading. He hasn't got much competition, but he is also going to be the biggest star that's ever come out of this podcast. This is not hard. So, Adam, the reason... How is this only 30 seconds? How has it only been 30 seconds? Adam, you are the greatest person that has ever existed. The reason why you're the greatest is not only have you helped me, and this is real now, people, so feel it. You're the only person, apart from Ryan as well, that's helped me from the very beginning. when I first started up this podcast and when I first started thinking about doing it, you were the one who come to me and say that I may not be able to come on screen, but I bribed you into coming on. Now you can't fucking leave. So because you've now come on and what you've done behind the scenes from the very start as well, not only that, when your first ever episode on this podcast, I checked earlier, is the 4th most watched episode we have ever done on this podcast. People know how good you are. Apart from your tweets, you don't get, nor do I, to be honest. But what you're doing with the changing perspective thing, with your uni work, with the mental health and everything you're doing around that as well, it just shows how much of a good person you are. Fucking 1 minute left. I have also been told that there are Piers Morgan looks up to Adam of how good he is at journalism and goes, "Oh, if only I could go back time and not be such a twat. And I could be more like Adam." I've also heard that Trevor McDonald, by the way, if anyone knows who Trevor McDonald is, you're a fucking legend.
Yep.
Yeah. Matthew probably doesn't.
So John's friend.
Yeah, of course I do.
That means he doesn't. So if you know who he is, then we got a bit of a glance of David. A bit excited there. So distracted me, David. Ryan. No, you're not Ryan. You're Adam. That's the biggest insult I've done. It's called you fucking Ryan.
Yeah.
I do know who he is.
So, Adam, thank you ever so much. You are now the reigning champ. You've got 20 seconds left, so fuck me, this is a lot longer than I was expecting. Adam, you are now the reigning, undefeated, the greatest heavy. You're really small. You're flyweight champion that's ever done this podcast, and the reigning champion of the predictions is Adam. Everyone give a round of applause. Thank you, Timer.
Yay.
So, David.
Yay.
Will I go next?
David, you're going next.
No.
All right.
So,
Right.
hold on. I haven't pressed start yet. Hold on. Ready? Steady. By the way, you two do Instagram live here, so this better be fucking good, or Adam is gonna cull you. Ready? Steady. Go.
Yeah, Adam, you are a great lad, and I appreciate all the help that you've sort of with me starting helping on the podcast and that, and doing the Instagram lives, being patient with me when I've not been able to come on live and everything, and sort of things that we've talked about over the last few months. You've not, if anything I've said that you've not agreed with, you haven't sort of judged me or, called me a pain in the arse or anything like that, which I know I am. But, you're top lads and you're good at what you do. And, I read some of your articles as well with the previews and things of
36 seconds left.
With the matches and stuff, and your views on the team. And I think you're going to go a long way in your job. And I think this is a good sort of starting point for you. And sort of, yeah, that really.
15 seconds left.
That's
So,
it.
yeah.
Fuck off, I had to do 3 minutes. This fucker's
Thank
not
you very
an hour in for 5 seconds.
No, thank you very much. It's greatly appreciated. Thanks for all the help on the Insta lives. It's been good to talk and it's great to have different kind of opinions as well and discuss them. It's been very good. Even our podcasts have been like over an hour long sometimes because we're talking.
Yes, it takes forever for it to download, by the way. It takes forever for me to download it to then upload it. So thank you for that. By the way, I'm going to add one more thing, and that's only going to be about 5-10 seconds. That's it. By the way, I think you're going to be the biggest star that's come out of Tarlest End than anyone else. I think you've got more. I don't care what anyone says. I think you are underappreciated on that place, and you're not.
How do you know?
Hold on, this is not your fucking time to talk. I'm talking, and I think you're underappreciated from what you do on there. And I also feel like you need to have a bigger role over those things as well. And I'm excited to see where you go. And that's genuine. And that's not me being horrible about Palestine. This is me being genuine about you. And I will say the same. And it's like with Matthew as well. Matthew has got a big future as well as you. And I'm excited to see where both you go. Matthew, you've only ever met Adam twice. You got 1 minute 30.
Let me get a word about Darlington. They are very supportive of me, and I'm grateful for they've done for me as well. I mean,
they don't fucking watch this. They're not going to know what you're saying.
The whole crew are nice guys, and I'm so glad to get on TTE and actually have some sort of platform. And this doesn't give me. But no,
watch this bit. This bit of him talking about Tyler Sten. He's going to clip this himself. He's going to release it just for what he says. So Matthew, you have 1 minute 30 seconds to explain why Adam's the greatest, only ever meeting him twice. So off you go.
So Adam, I've only ever met you a couple of times. However, from only meeting you a couple of times, there are some things that I can very clearly see. You have a very good football knowledge,
and
but you don't just have a very good football knowledge, you're very balanced as well, where something Mark doesn't have, and not a lot of people do have, I would say, in Reading, is you can see broader perspectives, and you showed that again tonight. You have your own opinions on what you think, but then you can also look at others and see that, and that is a key part of a journalist in any ways, and you can see where your degree and what you're doing is clearly coming out in the podcast, and it's very good. And that's the sort of thing that, from what I've learned at uni as well, you need to do if you want to make it far in a career in journalism and football in general. And they're very qualities that you can't just learn, you have to have those. In my opinion, those are the qualities that you just have to have it. Some people have it, some people don't. And you obviously add a lot to the podcast. I know you work really hard doing the Instagram lives, and you don't have to do it. It's not like we're getting paid for it. We do it out of our free time. And I know uni can be very stressful and very full on. And I know because I do it myself, but you're older than me, so you do it even harder than I do. And you still take time out of your day to do the podcast and deliver a good quality podcast. And I think Mark's very lucky to have you on board on the team, and it's good to talk to someone that has a football brain that can see other points of view, because if I just had Mark, I think I'd have to quit after the first week. And that is my 1 minute 30 up because I've timed it.
You have
perfect.
That's literally spot on. That was spot on as well, you twat. You had to do it. But
massive thank you.
So Matthew is absolutely spot on. By the way, to people that are listening to this or watching this, you lot have, if you go on the Instagram lives and do the Instagram lives, then you have Adam to thank for this. At one point, there was one point where I couldn't do the Instagram lives anymore and I was going to scrap it. There was also one point as well where there were certain things that were happening that I was very, I wouldn't say forceful, but I very much made a very strong case to close our Instagram live down, and instead of them doing an Instagram live, do a podcast. But the conversations I had with Adam were ones that you don't get with a lot of people. And he convinced me, and he convinced me a lot as well to keep it going. And that's one of the things that I think the people that are constant, and there's a few people that are constant going on our Instagrams live. We're going to do things a bit different in the summer. We're going to do things a little bit different. I don't know what we're going to be doing, but every year we need to revamp, reshape, and add something a little bit different. But this is the first year. We're coming up now in a month's so time. I think it's the 23rd. I think it's the 20th or the 23rd. Between then. No, that wasn't my son. Maybe the beginning of June. It's around about then. But June is the year since we very first started this overall podcast. And in that year, we have done so much. We've done a Christmas special, New Year's special. We've done massive episodes. We've had amazing guests. I want to say another as well. And he hasn't been on the podcast for a long time, but I've spoken to him and to catch up with him to see if he's okay. And that's Courtney. Courtney's gone through quite a hard time away from the spotlight. So he's taken himself out to go and sort himself out. And he is one of the main people that have helped us grow to that next level. And he has very much taken us to that next level. And if it wasn't for him, I mean this as well. If it wasn't for Adam, if it wasn't for Ryan, and if it wasn't for if it wasn't for them two and what we're doing now, this podcast would have lasted about 2 months. But because of what we were doing and how we done and how much the back. Look, I get angry at certain points when I look around on Twitter and I see certain people getting tagged saying, thank you for all the hard work you've done throughout the season. Thank you for everything you've done for the Reading community, all this and all of that. And then we get left out. That pisses me off, but it drives me as well. It pisses me off that we're not recognized for the amount of content that we throw at you guys. We, at one point, were doing 2-3 episodes a week to try and get you the amount of content. We were getting guests, we were getting fans on, we were getting a pundit, we were getting as many people as we can onto this book. We've had a lot of setbacks, probably a lot more than what a lot of people get. But I can honestly say now, I have the best team out of any podcast that's going right now. Any podcast. And I will challenge anyone to tell me that theirs is better. I've got Adam, as we described before. No, they're fucking shit. We've got Adam, who is probably one of the best minds that you will get that will look at both sides. You've got David, who is a diehard Reading fan, and you're going to get that passion and you're going to get that intensity from someone. You've got Matthew, who is a twat, and at the same time, he has got a very good, very, very good, knowledgeable brain about football. And he is very clever in the way that he words things and the way that he describes things. I'm not going to take any credit for that whatsoever. But what I will take credit for is getting him into football. So I got you at this stage, so deal with it. Ryan, who helped me from the start. You got Gulam, who does the wrestling podcast with me, who makes it so enjoyable to do something and talk about something that I've always wanted to talk about. But I have been told before that I shouldn't talk about it because it's not a sport. Love wrestling. I will carry on doing that no matter what. I've got F1 podcast. We've had a change around. We've got Niall coming in. By the way, he's going to do more stuff in the Reading podcast in the future, who has been superb. One of the funniest, one of the most intelligent people that you could meet. We've got Connor as well, up-and-coming star that's going to be big and massive. He's going in the army in September, October time, and he's going to defend this country. And he's wanting to do that over his life. And I have massive respect for him for that. And then on the other side as well, we've got a new podcast brewing. And I'm creating something that I really love. And that's all down to one person, and that was Ellie, who her brain and what she wants to do is something that the way that I've wanted to do from the beginning. And that's why we're creating it. Matthew, you are going to go somewhere. Adam, you're going to be the biggest journalist in Reading. David, you're going to be like that fan, that Newcastle fan that has fucking tattoos all over his mush and everywhere, all Reading, all around your face and everything. And if it isn't for you guys out there as well, who take your time out of your day to listen to me talk absolute bollocks for about an hour and a half and talk absolute shit, I wouldn't do this. You guys listen to more episodes than I've ever had in the past few months. And we are smashing it so far. So expect a lot more content over the next few months. Adam is going to come up with an episode of his choice, which will be out in the next week or two, maybe. We will put a date on that very, very soon. I'll talk to Adam about what we're doing and what he wants to do, and we'll come up with a fun way of doing it. And then we got Euros. We're going to do something special for that. So, thank you guys ever so much for joining us. I know I just went on a long rant there, but it's the end of season awards, and I just fucking went, fuck it. So yes, thank you guys ever so much for joining us. Thank you guys ever so much for listening. And we've got a lot more content that we're going to be building for you guys very soon. We're having an ideas call with a few people very soon where we're going to come up with games, come up with ideas. We might bring Fran Friday back at some point as well. Bring other fans on that haven't been on, that want to come on. And discuss why they love Reading. If you don't love Reading, you love wrestling, come on and do that. Formula One, anything you want. But we will see you guys very soon. Thank you guys ever so much. And I haven't got my mouse. Hold on. Here we go.